big, big, big news dropping. Apparently, Manchester United, Glazers, Ratcliffe, Qatari, there is a clause that the Glazers have put in or something along the lines of that could lead to a potential Glazers sale. This is dropping from the Daily Mail from, I believe, Andy Mitten. I believe it is him. I don't actually. Let me get the. I think it was Andy Mitten. I'll get out right now. But yeah, big news revealed. It's saying we have got to get into this. I have not read the article. I've literally just paid £1. Well, I got the free trial for a month on the Daily Mike Keegan. Sorry, I think he's a Man United journalist. I know he's just a chief sports writer. But listen, we'll get straight into it. I've just bought the free trial for the Daily Mail, so I can show you guys in this video what it says. So listen, revealed the forgotten clause. Let me zoom in for you guys if I can. Is that worked? I don't know if that's worked. Hopefully that's worked. If it hasn't, I don't know. Revealed the forgotten clause that could now force Sir Jim Ratcliffe out of Man United and what it means for the Glazers, Qataris and new owners. Last Wednesday, Manchester United crept back onto the market. So apparently, allegedly, what this guy's saying here is that last Wednesday, the Glazers have put Man United back on for sale. It may well have passed by relatively unnoticed, but August 13th was a technically significant date for the Premier League giants. I like how they say it's the Premier League giants though. Why? Because when the clock struck midnight, a clause buried in the final print of the deal, which saw Sir Jim Ratcliffe pay $1.3 billion for 25% of the club last February, quietly came into play. The clause is known as the drag-along right. And while it is not part of football speak, in the business world, drag-along rights are so commonplace that they have 3 different names for them. The purpose is a simple one. Drag-alongs or come-alongs or bring-alongs exist to make it easier for a company to be sold by preventing situations in which a minority shareholder can block a deal that those who hold majority want to go through. In United's case, that means if the Glazers, because I didn't understand a word of that waffle. In United's case, that means that if the Glazers want to sell, then Ratcliffe and Ineos now can't stop them. And well, is that it? No, it isn't. The deal that was such a clause that would come into play in 18 months after the completion of Ratcliffe's investment. It added that, should they wish, the Glazers could not only sell their stake, but could also force the petrochemicals billionaire, what the fuck, to do likewise with his. Daily Mail Sport has spoken to insiders at Old Trafford, Ineos, and in the Qatar homeland of Sheikh Yassim bin Hamad Al Thani, who missed out on buying the club outright, to ascertain whether we are in for more takeover drama and whether the Sheikh has the appetite to go again. While there has been a little noise, this is a situation which Ratcliffe is well aware of. At the unveiled press conference at Ineos London headquarters, he even alluded to it, although those present may have not known at the time. I don't think we're going to be taking legal agreements out of the bottom drawer, the 72-year-old said. I just hope they gather dust and we never see them again, which it should be. It should be on the basis of a relationship. To those with knowledge of the situation and of what has unfolded since, Ratcliffe, who was referring to the clause, hit the nail on the head with that comment. Above all else, relationship is the key to this story, and the signs that are the relationship that matters is nowhere near the Mancunian rocks. Ratcliffe and the Glazers get on at the risk of incurring in the wraths of Man United's fan base. The lifelong fan from nearby Fellsworth has only spoken with the warmth in public about the American owners, but the reality is that his feelings towards them are authentic and not just public displays of affection. They absolutely get on, said one source, so much so that Jim has flown over to the US on multiple occasions to have board meetings on their doorstep. They are like-minded people. They are also a view that the Glazers know when they are onto a good thing, and that this is a good thing. The Ineos have carried out the necessary dirty work needed to put business on track via a significant restructuring that has seen hundreds of the workforce made redundant. There has been a long period of serious bloodletting, coupled with the first ticket prices in a long time and the shouldering of the inevitable bad press and the fan backlash. Bro, I can't lie, it's getting a bit where he's waffling. Let's just get back to the thingy. So basically, the last bit is just clearly waffling. It's just talking about their relationship. So basically, right, so the Glazers are apparently, there's a clause in the contract up to 18 months that the Glazers can now sell, and they can force Ratcliffe to sell his stake. So the Glazers own, I actually don't know how much the Glazers own, but Ratcliffe owns about 25%. I think he may own 29% now. But yeah, the Glazers obviously, in terms of the Glazer family, not just one Joel Glazer or one even is the Avram Glazer or whatever, not one of them, just as a family collective, the Glazers own more than Ratcliffe, but singularly they don't. He's the biggest single stakeholder at Manchester United in terms of one person. But yeah, the Glazers basically, allegedly, as it says at the stop, but the Glazers are willing to could potentially be willing to put Man United back on the market. As it said last Wednesday, Manchester United crept back onto the market, and yeah, obviously, it says the deal was such clause pending bumps. Glazers could not only sell their stake, but could force Ratcliffe to sell. So if the Glazers do want to sell, they could force to. And maybe the Glazers just played everyone here. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe the Glazers have just played everyone here. Maybe they've just played. Imagine they end up selling to Sheikh Yassim, right? Imagine they end up selling to Sheikh Yassim, or they end up selling to someone. They get 8 billion or 7 billion for the full sale, and then they get the 1.3 billion they got off Ratcliffe. Bro, I swear down, if they do, they have just played 3D chess and absolutely conned. Bro, they wanted about 8 billion for us anyways to clear the debt and everything. Bro, oh my days. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they'd done that? The meltdown, bro. Apparently they've got a good relationship, as it says. Do you get what I'm saying? Apparently they've got a good relationship, Sir Jim and Sheikh Yassim. But, yeah, I mean, that'd be mental, bro. I mean, that would be mental. Do you get what I'm saying? We missed out on buying the club outright to certain weirds for more takeover drama, and whether the Sheikh has the appetite to go again. Whilst there's been little noise, there's a situation where Ratcliffe is well aware of, as it says here. So Ratcliffe's well aware of this situation, and the deal. And listen, the interesting bit is that, do you get what I'm saying? He literally says last Wednesday, Man United crept back on the market. The Glazers are probably open to selling Manchester United again. In United's case, that means the Glazers want to sell them. Ratcliffe and Ineos now can't stop them. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, what could come into play here is, and what I would like to see, is obviously when Ineos bought Man United for only 25%, and then they up to 29%, I think, I always wanted to know is there a long-term plan of Ratcliffe becoming the majority owner and buying the Glazers stake, or are they just gonna wait? Do you get what I'm saying? Are they just gonna sit there and let Ratcliffe control the things, and they just sit there and ponce off the football club? That was always I wanted to know. That's what I wanted to know. But as I say, I don't actually know. And look, now if the Man United are back on the market, who's to say Ratcliffe don't say, look, I'll buy a couple of your stakes. I'll buy another 25%, and I'll own 50% of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe he will. But I don't know. Interesting. Man United have got a sell-on clause potentially up for sale. It literally says there, Man United have crept back on the market. So that means the Glazers have put us back on the market to potentially look at a sale. I mean, I want these parasites out. Yeah, this would make my year, of course. But I would actually rather Ineos buy the rest of their stakes than a new owner come in and buy it all. I cannot be asked for a whole new reset year or project. Bro, just keep the Ineos project, or whatever the fuck it is. Let Ineos buy the rest. And yeah, but that's the latest. I literally just free trial for those people that wanted to read it, for those people that saw it and couldn't read it, or whatever, etc. It probably is a bit of a clickbait for the Mail now. I've read it because it does sound like the Glazers have put us up for sale when they haven't. But listen, no, they put us up on the market, which doesn't mean necessarily for sale. It means you're open to seeing what people would willing to offer, and they're going to probably try and contact Sheikh Yassim to see if he's willing to put 7 billion in on top of the one. I mean, if they end up getting 7 billion and they get 1.3 billion from what Ratcliffe give them, bro, they've made 8.3 billion plus the 2 billion they made out in dividends. They've made 10 plus billion off a free asset. They literally got us for free. The game's the game, bruv. Yeah, so when you're rich, bro, you're rich. Do you get what I mean? It's just crazy, innit? But listen, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Road to 2K. I'm out, people. Peace.